Welcome to this explainer from all of us right here at Next Level Speech and Physiotherapy Center. We know firsthand that raising a kid in Dubai is just an incredible multicultural experience. Seriously, it's one of the only places in the world where a toddler might easily hear 3 totally different languages before they've even finished their breakfast. You've got Arabic at home, English at nursery, and maybe a completely different language with their friends on the weekend. It's a beautiful reality, but let's be honest. For a lot of parents, it can suddenly feel pretty overwhelming when those communication milestones start to blur. So, if you're a parent trying to navigate this, you are in exactly the right place.
So let's dive right in. Is this a real speech delay or is it just the languages? Honestly, that is absolutely the most common question we hear from worried parents walking through the doors of our JBR clinic. And I want to validate that anxiety for you right now. It is incredibly stressful when your child isn't talking as much as you'd expect, or when a nursery teacher suddenly flags a concern and you're just standing there feeling entirely unsure of how to interpret it. I promise you are definitely not alone in asking this.
Just to give you a little perspective on this, our team here at Next Level has over 11 years of hands-on clinical experience right here in Dubai. And in that time, we've supported well over 7,000 children and their families through these exact same concerns. We've seen the worry, we've untangled the complexities of multilingual households, and we've guided families toward actual clarity. So today, we're going to walk you through exactly what we've learned, what our clinical philosophy is, and exactly how we find the truth behind your child's language development.
All right, let's get into Section 1, Clinical Truths versus Common Myths.
Let's start by clearing the air a bit. In our consultation rooms, we constantly hear parents repeating this really outdated and inaccurate advice they've been given. For example, so many parents tell us, "Oh, my child mixes English and Arabic in the exact same sentence. They must be so confused." Well, actually, scratch that. That is a total myth. In our clinical experience, what your child is doing is called code switching. It's a completely normal, actually brilliant feature of a bilingual mind. They might grab a word from another language simply because it comes to them faster or because they associate a very specific person with a specific language. It's a sign of cognitive sophistication, not confusion, and it is certainly not a sign of a delay.
Which builds right into another massive myth. People just assume that bilingual children are inherently slower to talk, but clinical facts tell a totally different story. Bilingual kids do not learn language more slowly overall. Instead, their learning is just distributed across 2 or more languages. So while their vocabulary in English alone might be slightly smaller than an English-only speaking kid, if you combine their English words and their home language words, their total vocabulary is right on track. They are simply building 2 incredible linguistic houses at the exact same time.
And man, that leads us to probably the most heartbreaking piece of advice we hear. We literally hear this quote almost weekly. "The nursery told us our child has a language delay. Should we stop using our home language and switch to English only?" Parents come to us ready to just completely abandon their native language, the language they express love and emotion in best, all because they think they're helping their child catch up.
Listen, the absolute crucial takeaway here is this. Please, do not drop your home language. Our clinical methods and extensive research show that switching to an English-only environment when English isn't your strongest language gives absolutely zero clinical benefit. In fact, dropping your home language actively harms your child's overall language development because you're pulling away their strongest linguistic foundation. They need high-quality, natural language input from you, not forced, unnatural English.
Moving right along to Section 2, Identifying the Red Flags.
So if mixing languages and having slightly smaller single-language vocabularies are completely normal, what isn't? Well, it's vital we shift our focus away from comparing your kid to a monolingual standard and instead look at holistic bilingual development. Here are the specific markers we actually look for at Next Level. A true delay is going to show up across the board. We're looking for limited communication attempts in all of their languages, not just one. Are they missing basic milestones like first words or simple combinations entirely? Another major red flag is if they have difficulty understanding instructions even in their strongest, most exposed language. We also closely watch for behavioral signs, like is your child showing frustration or withdrawing because they just can't communicate? And finally, if a nursery flags real concerns regarding their social interaction or comprehension rather than just pointing out an accent or language mixing, if any of these resonate, it definitely warrants a professional look.
That brings us to Section 3, the Next Level Assessment Approach. At our clinic, we firmly believe that getting the assessment right is literally everything. A poor assessment leads to poor outcomes. You either miss a child who desperately needs support during their most critical developmental years, or worse, you put a perfectly normally developing bilingual child through completely unnecessary therapy, causing immense stress for the whole family. And honestly, this is a massive issue in Dubai's healthcare landscape.
So many clinics assess a bilingual child using tests and norms designed exclusively for monolingual English speakers, which leads to incredibly damaging misdiagnoses. The child will almost always appear to have a delay that doesn't actually exist, simply because the test wasn't built for a multilingual brain. It's one of the most common errors our team works to correct.
To prevent this from happening, we use a highly structured, evidence-based methodology. Step 1, we look at the total language picture, assessing across all the child's languages, whenever possible, using parent reports and dynamic tasks. Step 2, we interpret these results strictly using bilingual norms. And Step 3, we meticulously map the child's entire language environment. We need to know who speaks what, when did exposure start, how consistent is it. This holistic context is literally the only way to uncover the truth about your child's actual development.
All right, Section 4, Supporting Your Home Language. Once we've got an accurate picture, we move to action. If therapy is indicated, our whole approach is deeply tailored to your family's unique linguistic environment. We want to empower you to support your child at home in a way that feels natural and effective without the stress of trying to somehow become an English teacher overnight. The absolute best thing you can do at home is provide meaningful input. Now, this doesn't mean just putting on an English cartoon. It means rich, active language exposure. It's interacting, speaking, reading, and singing with your child in your strongest, most natural language. Kids absorb language through human connection and interaction. When you use your most fluent language, you are giving them the richest, most complex vocabulary and grammar possible. That matters far, far more than which language you are actually speaking.
And you know, this perfectly highlights one of our absolute favorite clinical findings. When we target a child's home language in therapy, parents are usually pretty surprised. But we do this because skills transfer across languages much more readily than you might expect. Strengthening their foundation language actually acts as a massive boost to all their other languages. By building a rock-solid linguistic core at home, you are directly helping them succeed with English at their school or nursery. It's a real win-win.
What we consistently find with the families we support is that they just really need a team that gets their reality. That is the next level advantage. Our therapists have deep, highly specific experience with Dubai's exact language combinations, whether that's Arabic and English, Hindi, Tagalog, Russian, you name it. We offer nuanced assessments, targeted therapy that honors your home language, and we coordinate directly with your child's school to ensure they are fully supported in every single environment.
Because at the end of the day, raising a bilingual child is a gift. It's not a condition. But if you're losing sleep wondering if your child's speech is on track, you just don't have to guess anymore. Are you ready to replace that anxiety with clear answers and a customized plan for your child's true language potential? We are right here in the Fattan Marina Business Hub in JBR, ready and waiting to partner with you. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. We highly encourage you to reach out to our team at Next Level Speech and Physiotherapy Center to book an assessment today. After all, just imagine what incredible things your child could achieve when we stop trying to fix their bilingualism and start unlocking it.